from Sungatun to Mkati. It's building up. So the day you let it out, it won't come out with that composure. Whatever is close by, you want to hit your friend because you feel they're not listening to you. So that's for
the brand new song. I don't know why I'm using the word they. His brand new song. I don't know, maybe because I'm used with they, because I expect another guy to be on this set. But can I just put it like that? His brand new song, the title is Musie. It features Case Adams and not forgetting Badman Shapi. A man of few words. He's on the set right here. Welcome on the show. Am I allowed to say urban hype, or maybe for now we'll just keep it the AJ and Badman Shapi?
I mean, whichever you're comfortable.
Yeah, whichever.
Still urban hype, I'm still AJ.
Yeah. But today we're talking about you. You just dropped your brand new song. The title of the song is Musie. Amazing work on the visual. That's what we know you for, because you put out quality. You don't put out music that you feel like quality will be measured. Let's talk about what you've been up to, maybe last year and this year. What have we been up to?
Hey man, the first half of the year was silent music-wise. I wasn't, when you're just not in the vibe to make music, so I was just working on other things. Then the second half of the year is when I felt like, okay, you know what? I think I'm sleeping on something, You meet people, Peter Kulikons, Fakamba Chanyo Band, Fakamba you're quiet. So second half of the year, I was working last year. I'll tell you something, the whole of December, I was in studio. I think I went out like 3 times, and everyone else was partying and enjoying. I was in studio, locked in with my guys. And yeah, man, just making music. So for this year, I just want to drop more music. One thing most people say is, as AJ, I drop one song and then so I'll come back after 12 months and then drop another one. So this year I hope to drop more music, and that's the plan, and God willing it comes through.
But let's talk about your brand new song. Musie. It's an amazing record right there.
Thank you, man.
What made you to do that song?
Gosh, man, it's a lot of things. First of all, GBV is something that I think we've been talking about for some time, and every other year we see cases and find reasons to keep talking about it. So I felt it's something that needs to be spoken about, and I'm not offending anyone. There's those songs, sometimes they're not as exciting, let me use that word. So I felt, let me make something, a banger but with a message. Something that you can play in the club, but you can, if you listen to the lyrics, there's something more than just, Kovina and whatnot. So that was the whole idea behind it. And also, I have daughters, so that's a topic that's close to my heart, We want the children to grow up in a world where they're safe and feel, they can be loved without any issues going on in homes. Also, it advocates for mental health, There's a line where I talk about, the same Amuna Samalila, Sometimes as men, we go through a lot, but you can't even open up. If crying is the way to help you, release some stress and pain, if talking to someone is the way to go, talk to someone. So I just wanted to start the year on that note, a banger with a message, something positive, and hopefully, give you the right way going forward. And shout out to Case Adams, man, he brought it to life. Shout out to J Farm, the producer as well, and of course Badman Shapi. So basically that was the idea behind it. Let's just make a banger with a message.
Have you been a victim of GBV yourself?
No.
Okay, but someone close to you?
Yeah, I mean, you hear stories every now and then, Sometimes, just chilling with the guys. Wait. So it's something that you hear every now and then. Thank God I've never experienced it myself in my home, but the cases and stories are ever social media. You go, oh no, this person dead, stabbed by the wife or husband. It goes both ways. So I know the video depicts the woman being abused, but there's even men who are being killed because of GBV. Fighting in the house, stabbed and whatnot. So personally, I've never experienced it, but I see it around and read about it a lot.
You're a married man. We can't run away from the fact that couples do argue. In your case, how do you resolve your issues to an extent where the other one doesn't get to an extent where they want to hit the other?
Get physical.
First
of all, me and my wife have agreed we need to, when you feel you've been offended or you feel something's not right, address it and then don't keep anything inside. Because you know some of these issues arise from sunga to mkati. It's building up. So the day you let it out, it won't come out with that composure. Whatever is close by, you want to hit your friend because you feel they're not listening to you. So that's for us, that's the first rule. Like, you know, whenever you feel it, just say it. And number two, we don't go to bed angry at each other. We have to sort out whatever the issue is when we talk about it. If it's that big, there are instances where I even say I was raised to believe you have nothing nice to say, keep quiet. So there are instances where I feel, what I was saying might just make things worse. I even just say, look, just give me some time, let me calm down, then we'll talk. So those are the few things we've put in place to help, you know, just sort out whatever misunderstandings we have. But yeah, man, and thank God it's worked so far.
Badman Shapi, getting to you. You featured in the song. Like I said, a man of few ways. But I hope we're changing that narrative 2024.
We need to change. We'll try.
Let's talk about your year as well. Last year, recap from the Badman Shapi's world. What were you up to?
Last year, I should say it's, I think it's been the same. Most of the times I've been in studio, just, you know, trying to see how I can adjust, move, and re-strategize on how to drop my works and everything. The music, I've changed my sound for a bit, twisted my sound a bit. Yeah, and just been in studio putting in work, ready for 2024, because I didn't drop anything last year. Yeah, just been working, man.
Okay, so this year, when are we expecting something from you?
Very soon, like I think next month I'm dropping something. We start the year, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So speaking about you guys, like I said, I want us to have a realistic conversation.
Yeah.
The producer behind this show, Mr. Chipo, I won't say the sad name, Mr. Kawata. Can we have 59 seconds of this song, and people should understand why every time I get to watch such music, I get very sad because I'm looking at the picture where these guys would have been now. So I want to get to find out from them. Is everything okay? Let's get to play this song. Are we good for that visual from the urban hype? So that we remind people where these guys are coming from, and we find out how everything is going from them and each one where they are.
This is urban
Come a
hype.
little closer, mommy. I wanna touch your body. You standing way too far from me. How will I touch your body? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it?
Man, Shapi, when me say, cutie, so you better than bad. Beauty, go punda oh lad. Where you get that from? That wine you too bad. We go, Jason Snoop Dogg. Your friends are carry too, you carry from. Wine slow like a million.
So every time I get to watch such music, such visuals, I'm being honest with Ajay and Badman Shapi, it gets me to a point where I'm looking at it saying, okay, what happened? Like, what happened? It's a good thing you guys are working individually. You dropped your brand new song, amazing song. I've seen a couple of times Badman Shapi dropping a song that features another person in the song. Right now, as we're speaking, FJ is about to drop another song. That's going to be dropping today on a Friday. Let me find out from you. This year, are we expecting that change of a narrative where we expect the urban hype, or you're still pushing the agenda individually?
Expect urban hype to put in more work this year. You asked what happened. I'll tell you this: it's been when we left Taurus, we started doing our thing on our own. Then we signed with Nexus. A few issues in the background, so we were signed to Nexus for 2 years. Only put out one song. Then, you know, obviously at some point Nexus went quiet, so that meant, you know, everything was quiet on our end as well. But this year we've decided, you know, we're moving forward. No matter what happens, Urban Hype is going to put out work. A lot of people think, no, we're not together anymore. Urban Hype, you know, I mean, it's normal because they don't see us together a lot in public. But in the background, we do link up, we do talk, you know. And like you said, I've just dropping a song today, and I'm gonna post it up, I'll share it when my song dropped. He was sharing it, so it's not like there's any bad blood. It was just a few label issues, one after the other, and also we realized, look, wow, we're trying to sort that out. Let's keep the name alive by, individual projects. So, I mean, shout out to FJ, man. He's been putting in a lot of work. Like I said, for me, on my end, I felt I wasn't ready because FJ was an artist even before Urban Hype, so was Badman. For me, I started music with Urban Hype. So even this solo project is like me starting. Obviously, it's not square one because I have the Urban Hype background, but it's sort of square one as the AJ. Like, this is when I'm going, like, okay, you know what? Let's do something that the people recognize. Before I put out a single, just like I said, to keep, Urban Hype is quiet. Let me drop a single, see what happens. It's a different mindset now. So everything is still there. It's just a different approach, and you will see with time, like even the way we drop our songs, like, oh, there's a plan to what we're doing. It's leading up to something. Yeah.
Was it because you guys went through, like you have explained, because you guys went through such, that's why the drive, the force went down? Because we want to understand, we are the people who used to follow the music. So we need answers, like, consistency is very important, and I feel like consistency lost track. Somewhere, and it's going to be a bit tricky for you to get back again.
Yeah, true. So, I'll answer personally, that was part of the reason why, because where you're in the industry, it's not an easy thing to just put out even what they can call a simple video or a simple project. That still costs a lot of money and time. And then if you don't get back what you put in, at some point you feel like, it's a waste of time, you know what I mean? So for me personally, when all those things were happening, we're like, okay, so we're putting in so much and then we're having these label issues. We're on the same label, but others are dropping more, so you're like, is it worth it? And I just gotten married at the time, so also there's family this side. So I said, you know what, let me focus on my family, get that stable, and then when the time is right and everything is in place, I'll get back to music. That was my personal, that's why I held back a bit and lost that drive. And eventually, if you love something, it'll come back. So eventually the love came back and I started recording again. But that was one of the major reasons why, for me, I held back. And I think also for the group, it was one of those who are like, we're just not seeing, okay, we're putting in work, we get signed, we drop a jam and thinking, okay, now it's back to back, and then silence. I mean, of course, there were issues in the background that I can't even bring here because those were like personal matters with the label. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking, we got signed with this person at the same time. Some came after, but they've put out maybe 3-4 songs and we've only put out one. So what's going on? So yeah, that's for me partly the reason why that lack of consistency came. And hey man, they say you made your bed, now lay in it. So now you have to start from scratch. It's not easy to just get back to where you were. So I mean, let's see what 2024 has already to put in the work, and hopefully the people give us that chance and we get back to where we were.
From Badman, Shapi, also, maybe I would like to get your thoughts, man. This has been a concern. People are trying to find out these questions. Maybe some of us were, like you said, who are in the industry. By now, we were expecting bigger things. By now, we're expecting maybe all these Grammys talks that we're hearing somewhere, somehow. By now, that's where we're looking at saying, okay, you can't stop us from thinking this is where we were looking at the Urban Hype in the category. Like, from what he has said, your own opinion also, what happened? What happened?
Like you put it, bro, you get to plan, say you get signed, we got signed to the label and said, okay, this is what they promised us. And, when you say, okay, we're starting to work, you plan it all out and say, okay, by this year, we're going to drop, let's say we're going to drop 6 singles, we're going to push this way. And everything just falls down, bro. Readjusting is really hard after you've planned it all out, you know what I mean? So yeah, that really put the mood down. Even in your mind, you're like, what am I going to do next? Since we planned this and this is now out of the way, what are we going to do next? You sit down and readjust and see, strategize and everything. But yeah, it's life. At the end of the day, we're back to the drawing board and we're hoping for the best right now. Urban Hype is still Urban Hype, and we're doing what we can to bring it back and to really go back to where the people believed and everything, you know what I mean? Yeah.
If you had the power to get to change something about the industry locally Zambia, what would be that thing from the Badman Shapi? If you're given that power.
Right now, let's see. There's a lot, bro. I think of the Zambian music.
Maybe just one thing. We're having this conversation for the growth of the industry.
True.
It's not to take away anything from anybody. That's why I'm asking this question.
I think the movement, unity. We lack unity in the Zambian music industry. Movement. We can't move together. Jealousy is too much. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that unity is all we need right now.
The same question to you, AJ.
For me, honestly, I just want more award shows to recognize. I mean, part of the reasons why I think people argue a lot about award shows is because like there's just very few. So, I mean, only how many can you win? There's 1,000 artists and there's 10 categories. So only 10 people can win a night. Awards also matter out there. It helps out there when you say, oh, I'm an award-winning artist with over 50 awards. Let's give an example of Sakode. I think he's close to 60 now. So if he takes himself out there, let's say to Europe, States, when you look at that CV, already you know you're not dealing with someone small. So if we had more awards we could win, I mean, it helps us. So it's part of the reason. I mean, like you said, there's so many things. For me, that's one of the things I think we're lacking right now. Just recognition of, like, a lot of awards to recognize the different aspects of, you know, the industry.
My last question regarding the same awards. Do you think we should have people vote, continue voting, or we should have just a committee like the Grammy where a group of committee make decisions?
I think a committee is better, especially if they're industry experts. I mean, I always say this, and that's why there's a lot of fighting. If it's a popularity contest, I could have, let's say, I'll give an example, I would have a big song or a better song, but because someone else is more popular, they'll get more votes. You know what I mean? Yes, if people recognize it's good, but as long as that person has more people, once he says, look, vote for me, it becomes a popularity contest, not really an award show. It's more of a popularity contest when it's public voting. Maybe you limit the number of votes one person can do, but I feel it's always better when there's a committee of industry experts. Maybe leave it like 30% votes and 70 is a committee of experts, not just random people because you know the owner of the organizers. I think you need, the way the Grammys do it, there's an academy of people who know the industry, they know what it means to say, okay, if we say best radio presenter, they know what it takes to be a radio presenter, what makes a radio presenter good, and then they'll decide, okay, out of everyone, this is the one who deserves it.
It was great having a conversation with you. We still count down, and my dream probably this year is to see any song from Urban Hype. This year, that's my prayer, because I know something somewhere is going to change somewhere. And we'll have this conversation, I'm sure, later, just to say, this is what I was expecting, this is what I was hoping for, because I know there's power when you guys are more like the three of you. But once again, that's an amazing song, amazing visual, amazing message as well. Thank you very much for giving us that piece of message. I know there's so many people out there who would relate, but they're still in that relationship where they're just stuck. No matter vinto vavuta bwanje, bakali moche, GBV is still happening somewhere, somehow. Right now, as we are talking, somewhere, it's going through that right there. But thank you very much for that amazing message coming through from you. Now.